It's March Madness from the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. Second round action from the West region here at McNichols Sports Arena. Number 9, New Mexico taking on top-seeded Uconn. First of 2 games here in Denver, Arkansas, and Iowa coming up later on. Hi, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarco. The Uconn Huskies have certainly been consistent here in the 90s, looking to go to their 7th Sweet 16 this decade. And Jim, Richard Hamilton in game number 1 against UTSA, unstoppable.
Well, he stepped up and had 28 points. One thing about Hamilton to look for, he's the leader offensively. He will look to get out on the break also.
For New Mexico, it's Kenny Thomas, 20 points, 10 rebounds in the victory over Missouri.
And he's an interesting guy for UConn. They have not seen a guy this big with the skills that he has, both shooting the ball and passing the ball.
Right now, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both of these schools. New Mexico, a team that got here on a last-second victory over Missouri. Long, Davis, Thomas. Up front with Henry and Robinson in the backcourt. Freeman, Hamilton, Voskuhl, Elamine, and more for UConn. Dave Bliss, the youngest team he has had in his 11 years at New Mexico. And Jim Calhoun, head coach of the Huskies. He is back on the sidelines after missing the first-round game with an intestinal virus. Ready for action. And New Mexico in the red controls the tap. This is Thomas on the outside, picked up by Voskuhl.
Connecticut coming out as they usually do, straight up man-to-man. They're going to defend the perimeter well. They'll keep the pressure on, try to force the Lobos to do something off the dribble.
First ever meeting for these two schools. Thomas stepped on the baseline, and New Mexico turns it over to start play. Our officials here today, Frank Scagliotta, Gerald Boudreau, and Phil Bova. Khalid Elamine running the show for UConn. 10 assists, a career high. Voskuhl on the interior. Kick out for more.
They like to play man-to-man, but they've come out to slow this game down a little bit. They're in a 2-3 set to start. They're going to force UConn to shoot the ball from the perimeter as much as possible.
Penetration. Elamine trying to dish it off. Voskuhl couldn't get it to drop. Rebounded by Davis.
Elamine very, very fast with the basketball. He just went through 2 guys in the middle, splitting the seams, but they could not connect.
Long on a pump fake. Leaning jump shot. And Voskuhl corrals it.
Moore's good defensively. Did you notice he was on the right side of his body? Made him change.
Hamilton, quick pull-up as he knocks it down for 3.
One of the things to look for Hamilton, he's got that little smile on his face. He looks to make things happen early. He will even hunt shots down on occasion.
Davis steps on the sideline. Coming up next, for those of you expecting to see Creighton and Maryland from the East, we'll be getting you out for the tip-off of that one momentarily.
A little shaky start from New Mexico. Lions stepping out of bounds twice already in 2 possessions.
More on a bounce for Elamine. Fires it up for 3.
So New Mexico has to recognize a couple of quick things. They're going to be in the 2-2-1 defensively now. The Huskies trying to force some mistakes, but defensively they have to find Elamine and Hamilton on the perimeter.
UConn shot 55% from the floor in their victory over Texas San Antonio in the first round. This is Kevin Henry.
He can shoot it from long range.
Thomas gets a touch off a double team.
Freeman's the guy who will double team. There's another turnover with the travel. Freeman will double team every time Kenny Thomas touches that basketball down low. Dave Bliss has to get his team unraveled right now. They have not had a good possession at the offensive end.
4 possessions for New Mexico, 3 turnovers, the latest coming from John Robinson, called for traveling.
It's 2-3 set. They have to find Hamilton.
Hamilton for 2. Thomas able to grab the rebound. And New Mexico just trying to get on the board. They trail 6-0. Working the perimeter, Robinson.
Let's see where Freeman is. Here he comes.
This is Thomas for 3. Rimming out. And Elamine crashing the boards.
UConn can live with him stepping out. Even though he can shoot the basketball, they prefer him out there.
Elamine picked up by Henry.
Dave Bliss and company want to keep this score down as low as they can. When I asked him yesterday, he said, I'd like it to be in the 30s if I could. I think he's going to try to keep it in the 60s if he can.
LME. And the follow from Freeman. 8-0 Uconn.
Greg Gumbel in New York will keep an eye on that New Mexico-Uconn game for you. But those of you awaiting the tip of the game between Creighton and Maryland, it's about time. Let's send you to Orlando Arena in Orlando, Florida. Second round action in the South. Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner are there.
All right, Greg, here in Orlando, Creighton, Maryland set to tip off and play for a trip into the Sweet 16. Earlier today, St. John's destroyed Indiana. They play the winner of this game. Welcome back to Orlando. Gus Johnson along with Dan Bonner. And Dan, for Maryland, they've got 3 high flyers on their team. And for Creighton, they've got 1 superstar.
Maryland is led by their Air Force, Gus, and here's the Air Force here. These guys are high flyers. 47 points a game among them on the average this year. And I'm telling you what, if you're going to ground them, and that's what Creighton wants to do, they're going to have to rely on Rodney Buford. Buford at 6'5". Inside quickness, cleverness, explosiveness characterize his game. He's also a very dangerous three-point shooter. They're going to rely on him heavily this afternoon.
And a look at the starting lineups for Creighton in the backcourt. Walker and Sears with Swinson, Johnson, and Buford. In the front court for Maryland, Stokes and Stevie Francis, Baxter, Morris, and LaRon Prophet. Dana Altman, the head coach of the Blue Jays from Creighton, 5th year, has improved the team's record 5 consecutive years, and he really gives his team a chance to win today. On the other side, Gary Williams, 10th year at the University of Maryland, a 3-time national coach of the season. And the profile for the Creighton Blue Jays, they're in Omaha, Nebraska, home of the College World Series, seen here on CBS, and they're in the Missouri Valley Conference. 6,200 students and a 22-8 record. And the officials today, Bob Donato, Ed Hightower, and Tom Eads. Maryland and Creighton, and we're underway from the arena in Orlando, Florida.
Gus, in the first round game, Maryland did an outstanding job passing the ball against Valpo's zone. Creighton opens up in his zone.
And the Blue Jays forced the first turnover of the game. Ryan Sears, who's really good with the basketball. More steals than turnovers in 2 straight years.
Maryland in the man-to-man defense, and there's the
Morris
steal.
with the steal, and he's fouled going up court. Stripped Swinson.
And the Maryland players all signaling for an intentional foul. Maryland has set a team record for steals this year. They do a great job, quick hands with the basketball. Swinson does all he can do to stop the easy basket. You can understand why the Maryland players thought that was an intentional foul. Looked like he was trying to tackle it.
So Prophet inbounding the ball to Stokes, the senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Prophet in the corner. Some kind of zone being applied now by Creighton.
Yes, it's actually sort of a box-and-one defense. They're guarding Steve Francis man-to-man. They're playing everybody else zone.
Backdoor, Francis cut off.
Oh, what
inside,
a pass!
great pass. Baxter slams it and draws the foul. How did he stay in bounds?
This is a guy, Gus, with tremendous athletic ability. What great balance, and this takes some strength to stay in bounds here. Keeps his feet just long enough to get the great left-handed pass, and Baxter stepping right to the basket.
And the free throw by Baxter, no good. Rebounded by Buford. Steve Francis, Jr. from Tacoma Park, Maryland. Played at Blair High School there in Maryland.
Gus, you want to watch a matchup in the Maryland man-to-man. It's Prophet against Buford, and Prophet knocks the ball away right there. Look for Creighton to set some screens down low to try to get Buford open. It's going to be very important for Maryland that they help on those screens.
Buford 2 of 13 in the first half of play in the win over Louisville. Inside and a foul. Donnie Johnson fouled by Baxter.
Gus, Creighton is a team that shoots the three-point shot very, very well. On the year, they've made 229 threes, but early in the game, Dana Altman trying to establish something on the inside.
Quick release, and it is good. Ben Walker, who had 16 points against Louisville, 12 in the second half, and a whistle and foul inside.
Yes, I'll tell you what, if you're Creighton, you better not relax just because you made a three-point basket. If you're going to jog back on defense, you're going to find yourself taking the ball out of the net, because Maryland, excellent in transition, and they will run even after made baskets.
So Baxter, first free throw good, young man, a freshman. And he has seen his minutes extended with the injury to Obina Akizi, who blew out his Achilles tendon late in the season. Second free throw good. And Maryland gets into that full court press.
Maryland pressures in a number of different ways. They can be very effective in the full court, but Walker at 200 pounds does a great job splitting that double team.
Ryan Sears raked across the face, and looks like they may have gotten him on the bridge of the nose. And the foul is on LaRon Prophet. His first and the team's second. So Ben Walker putting things in motion. And a whistle and another foul. Right now, Maryland a little too aggressive on the defensive end. Nereus Karlakanovas, the Lithuanian-born player, is fouled by Steve Francis.
Sometimes Maryland can get into a situation where they do get overly aggressive and pick up the fouls, and what that does is causes them to back off the defense a little bit, and Gary Williams wants to avoid that.
Johnson on the wing, guarded by Baxter. Walker. Stop and start, cut off nicely by Stokes. Karlakanovas at 7 points in the first half. Cross court, Buford, 12 to shoot. Backs up, takes the three. Partially blocked. Maryland on the run. Prophet across the lane, dumps it down, knocked away. Into the hands of Karlakanovas. Buford pull up three on the break. And that one's out of bounds.
Actually hit the shot clock. Creighton is a team that runs up and down pretty well themselves, averages 77 points a game. They're not afraid to get out and go, but I don't think that they want to get in a strictly transition game with Maryland today.
Terrence Morris along with Stokes, Baxter, Prophet, and Steve Francis on the floor for the University of Maryland. Baxter really calling for the ball inside. He's working hard. Morris for three.
Morris has really had a nice NCAA tournament. 18 points with that smooth shooting in the first round game.
Inside, Donnie Johnson got the step, and he's fouled.
And another foul against Maryland. The foul's starting to add up now for Gary Williams Terps. And again, part of the problem with early fouls is that they tend to back off on the defensive pressure when they get in foul trouble. Great pass by Karlakanovas, and that's 2 fouls now against Lonnie Baxter.
So Donnie Johnson at the free throw line. He's a junior from Omaha. Has been having some back problems, which has hindered his ability to really condition himself on the floor. Has to sit out a lot in practice. And a substitution in the game. Martisic replaces Baxter, and he goes over to the sidelines and gets a little talking to by the Maryland staff. Second free throw is good. Jimmy Patsos, the assistant coach, over there talking to him. Martisic looking for a guard.
Creighton with some pressure of their own. Creighton very successful with their pressure defense in the comeback against Louisville.
Francis to lob. And the Prophet.
Gus, we talked about the Air Force, and there's the Air Force, the high flyers from Maryland. It's tough to defend up in the stratosphere.
Three-quarter court pressure by Maryland, broken easily by the Blue Jays.
Maryland stays in the man-to-man.
Blue Jays looking to get Buford off early, guarded by Prophet.
Prophet, good quickness.
Karlakanovas shuffled his feet.
Maryland is a team that also set a team record in assists, and one of the ways they get the assists in the most exciting fashion, just throw the ball up there, confident that LaRon Prophet can come and get it, and from above the basket, LaRon Prophet, all you see is his hands and the ball.
I love that camera. The slam cam. Steve Shear, our producer, and Larry Cavallina in the truck providing those great shots. Stokes Morris, bowling pass inside. Martisic short on the bank, rebounded by Buford.
Creighton is actually playing man-to-man against Maryland's post guy and man-to-man against Steve Francis. The other three guys playing zone, a triangle and two setup.
Nice ball movement. Karlakanovas misses the reverse layup.
Sneaky little move there. Used his hand to hook around Martisic.
Three-pointer off the break by Profit. Long rebound goes to Justin Haynes.
This is the kind of pace that Maryland would like to maintain, the up and down style. Creighton needs to slow it down a little.
Here's Haynes, guarded by Martisic. Almost stolen away as Morris taps it out of bounds. 15:49 to go, first half of play. Terps up 9-4.
Huskies up big here in the first half. Are things working well for Uconn? Well, I think so. Khalid El-Amin just got his first block of the season.
And it was a big one, too. On Robinson down low on the blocks, going after him, funneling to the corner. El-Amin, a leader offensively for this team in their fast break offense, playing a little defense.
Walker gets the roll. And 8 minutes and 15 seconds into this game, New Mexico has its first field goal.
And their attempts have been better from closer range, at least the last 3 trips down the floor. So they've figured out that they can't live outside against them when you're down this much.
Moore dumping it inside. Freeman drop step move, got caught up in the air. And a jump ball call. Defensive tie-up. It's going the other way for New Mexico.
Kenny Thomas, who had 4 block shots in the first round game, steps across here to help Walker. Freeman goes up. Do they hit the ball at all in the air? See, I don't know about that. I mean, if he hit the ball, it's a jump, but I think that's a walk. Really.
That's a walk.
You go up and down with it. I don't think anybody got a hand on that. And even if they did, if he comes back down with it, I think it's a travel anyway.
The result is the same. New Mexico gets the ball, but you're right. That's a travel.
They need to get some rhythm here at the offensive end.
Robinson matched up with El-Amin. Turnaround jumper, Walker, too strong.
Look at the block out down low by Saunders, keeping Thomas off the glass.
The sophomore, a burly figure, 6'8", 220 pounds, out of Waterbury, Connecticut. Moore for Hamilton. The leaner. No good.
Man-to-man defense has been pretty good. Nice change up there by Dave Bliss.
Wide open look, Lamont Long, rainbow delivery for 3.
The man-to-man defense, so often you hear that defense dictates how well you play offensively, and that is definitely the case right here. The last 2 minutes, the man-to-man defense has gotten these guys moving a little bit better, and that consequently has gotten them in better offensive flow.
New Mexico's first 3-point field goal of the day. They are on a 7-0 run as they've settled down as we approach the midway point, first half. El-Amin.
And with the man-to-man iron, they could get a hand a little bit better in his face, as they just did.
Ricky Moore stepping on the sideline, giving the ball back to New Mexico.
Going after the basketball, Moore will come right over to us and dribbles the basketball out of bounds.
Jake Voskuhl returns for Uconn. 20-9, Huskies in front. Long thought about it. Lamont Long, an air ball.
Tough defensive effort there. Force him to double clutch again.
Voskuhl on the outside. El-Amin trying to turn the corner on Robinson. El-Amin had it rim out.
He had to pull up there because he saw Thomas behind. If Voskuhl's not going to shoot the 12-foot jumper, Thomas will be able to roam defensively and help out.
Robinson working off a screen. Doesn't get the roll. Voskuhl the board.
Good pressure again by El-Amin on the jumpers. They're contending.
Hamilton accelerating and then pushed to the outside.
Now watch it, Thomas. Thomas is number 4 in the middle of the paint. He's just standing there because Voskuhl's not attempting to shoot the ball. Now down deep, Voskuhl will make him work a little bit. Voskuhl's really not an offensive threat usually.
Voskuhl banging bodies. Offensive foul is called. Voskuhl made that one pretty obvious.
Uconn, I'm sure, would love to get him involved offensively to try to get Thomas a foul or 2. He positions himself well, but watch Thomas's good stance defensively, and all of a sudden you'll see a little bump. Nice little acting job by Thomas to get the body. There's a timing play defensively where as soon as you get hit, start flailing the arms and move your body, especially with an official sitting on your right hip.
Uconn turning it over for the 3rd time today.
He's cut by Walker through the lane.
Slams it down with 2 hands, and New Mexico is trying to climb back into this one.
They may have switched jerseys or something here because this is a different team than the first 8 minutes of this basketball game.
A 9-0 Lobos run.
Let's see how the Huskies react now against the man-to-man.
Ricky Moore.
Here's Voskuhl wide open.
Voskuhl rejected by Walker. And a foul.
That's an indecision by Thomas just then. New Mexico on a little bit of a roll because Walker with a very strong cut. Freeman gets hung up on a screen up by the free throw line. You see him trying to fight over, and here comes the finish.
Damian Walker picking up his first foul, but he has given them some energy coming off the bench, replacing Greg Davis.
His energy off the bench, Ian, and also the switch of the man-to-man, really effective and really has helped them work their offense a little better.
Voskuhl hits on the first free throw. E.J. Harrison will check into the game. Albert Mooring still not a part of this rotation for Uconn because of a sprained right knee. The doctors, though, did give him clearance to play today if Calhoun needs him, but obviously the coach would like to avoid using Albert Mooring, the sophomore from Preston, Maryland, if he doesn't have to. 22-11.
Well, man-to-man now, not the 2-2-1, but man-to-man by Uconn.
Kevin Henry gets it across. He came to New Mexico as a point guard out of high school and then made the move to the two-guard position. Thomas, nice fake. He got caught underneath the backboard, but it didn't matter. He attracted enough attention to draw the foul.
0 for 3 from the floor so far, but really what caused that play to develop is the fact that the three-guard offense is starting to move better without the ball. You cannot let this guy catch the ball down there. The good moves, a little cross. Voskuhl's a pretty good defender, picks up his second foul. This guy right here, I don't know if I'd want to be dealing with him down in the blocks with that body that he has, about 260 pounds.
Kenny Thomas missing on the first free throw. Thomas's NCAA average in the tournament came in just over 8 points, 6 rebounds per game, and you see the game he had against 8th-seeded Missouri in the first round. Thomas agreed to sit out the first semester this year after a dispute with the NCAA regarding his academic eligibility as a freshman. The Lobos went 6-0 in his absence, but against a cream puff schedule.
Absolutely, and the thing about him, too, one of the things to worry about with Thomas is the foul situation. He has fouled out of 4 NCAA games. If Dave Bliss can get him to the half with 1 foul, maybe 2, that's a big win.
Suleiman Wan has come in to replace Jake Voskuhl after picking up his second personal foul.
That'll help Thomas, too, because he's not an offensive center either.
Harrison, jump step, off the mark. 10-point lead for Uconn. Over the last 4.5 minutes, Uconn has not registered a field goal. Thomas lines it up for 3. That rebounded by Wan.
Wan will not come out on that. That's why Thomas took that shot from long range. Shoots at about 40% from 3.
Trying to feed the post. Walker knocked it away, out of bounds. Timeout with 7:29 left. First half, New Mexico trying to make a run. They trail by 10.
will take you back to the Orlando Arena. Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner with more of Creighton against Maryland.
9:56 to go, first half of play. Maryland with their largest lead of the game, but Rodney Buford gets his first bucket of the game.
Game thus far has been played at Maryland's pace. They're getting the ball up and down. The Terrapins haven't hit a lot of outside jumpers. Creighton's defense in transition has been able to force Maryland into those jump shots.
Morris, quick turn, rebounded by Swenson with one hand. Strong rebound by him.
It's because he was using the other hand to push LaRon Prophet away and got away with it.
Swenson, senior from Holiday, North Dakota. Buford spins on the baseline, and he comes up short on the bank.
And that's a freshman, Danny Miller, trying to guard a 2,000-point scorer. Let's see if Creighton is able to take advantage of that matchup.
Straightaway three from Morris, rolls out. He's missed two straight.
Maryland is settling for three-point shots too early in the offensive possession. They can get that three-point shot anytime they want to. They need to get the ball down and see if they can get it inside.
Swenson, pump fake, cross court, Carla Conovas. Now Buford. Walker. You know who this kid reminds me of? Remember Iowa State when they had Kenny Gregory? He was an undersized forward who could really get his shot off inside.
That's a real good comparison. Walker has the same kind of strength. He's got real good quickness. Here is able to set the box and one again. Walker already with 9 points, Gus, 4 out of 4.
And the game summary. Here in the first half of play, neither team shooting the ball very well. Each team with 6 turnovers.
The key, however, has been Maryland's ability to get out on the fast break. 9 points on the fast break. That really has been the difference in the game.
And Creighton over the limit, so Terrence Morris steps to the free throw line. Morris from Frederick, Maryland, only a sophomore. First one is good. First team All-ACC. As a matter of fact, Maryland had 2 players on the first team for the ACC. For those ACC honors, Steve Francis and Morris. Last Maryland duo to achieve that, Len Elmore and John Lucas back in the 70s.
And Len Elmore and John Lucas were a couple of very, very good players for the University of Maryland.
Inside, Donnie Johnson all alone. Defensive breakdown for the Terps.
First time that Creighton has really been able to beat that Maryland pressure for an easy look at the basket.
Lob back door. Prophet couldn't lay it down. Brandon on the run. Sears spots up for 3. And he missed it. Donnie Johnson, offensive rebound, and he's fouled inside.
Maryland has done a real good job on the defensive boards thus far in the game, but Donnie Johnson that time in transition, as we saw in our first game, Indiana and St. John's. It's awfully difficult to block out in transition. Baxter now picks up his 3rd personal foul.
So Donnie Johnson at the free throw line.
Already with 5 points today.
And 2 rebounds to boot. First one is good. And that's one thing this Creighton team's very good at. Their free throw shooting, especially in the second half.
In the last 5 minutes of their last 5 games, they actually made 37 of 39. So you cannot put these guys on the free throw line.
They were 10 of 10 from the line in their first round matchup against Louisville in the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Morris to Stokes. Morris all alone. Stokes takes the 3 this time and hits. Terrell Stokes makes it a 25-17 game. Maryland gets back into that press.
This time the 3-quarter court variety.
Brandon, a lot of dribbling. Donnie Johnson, strong to the basket, stripped away, and he's fouled again. And
Terrence Morris stuck his hand in there and then immediately put his hands behind his back trying to get away with it. Good toughness by Creighton. Gary Williams wants to know why this isn't a walk, but the ball squeezes out of there and goes to Johnson, and Morris just reaches his hands in, and then right away they're behind his back as if to tell the official, okay, I didn't do it. I'm innocent.
Donnie Johnson at the free throw line. He has 6 points. They did 6 points. Rare miss for Creighton.
Dana Altman very encouraged that his team is within 8 points. They haven't really played very well offensively, but this is the pace that Maryland wants to play. They wonder if Creighton can play this pace for 40 minutes. One of Maryland's goals today is to try to wear Creighton down a little bit.
Second one is good. 7:30 to go in the first half. 25-18 Terps.
Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg in our studios in New York. We'll keep that New Mexico Uconn score at the bottom of your screen while we tell you what's going on in Orlando. What's going on so far is pretty much the University of Maryland who have had their way so far with Creighton.
They jumped out to a quick lead, Greg, because of their ability to turn Creighton over. Although Creighton now starting to settle down a little bit, and they've been able to attack the pressure. If they haven't scored, they've been able to draw fouls.
Creighton have shown all the earmarks of jitters in a big game with 6 turnovers early on and just 1 of 10 from behind the three-point line.
But as you look at the score, only down 7 with a chance to cut into that, maybe only be down 5 after these free throws.
Maryland leaning on Terrence Morris, not unusual. 7 points and 6 rebounds so far today.
He's had a tremendous season. I know Steve Francis gets an awful lot of the hype, as does LaRon Prophet, but I don't think for Maryland there's been a more consistent player offensively and defensively than Terrence Morris.
These two teams playing for the right to move on to meet St. John's on Thursday in Knoxville, and like the New Mexico Lobos, Creighton hasn't been to the regional semifinal since 1974.
They're going to have to show a lot more poise, get some of their three-point shots to go down to have an opportunity to make that move forward.
They've pulled to within 6 at 25-19, coming up on 7 minutes to play in the first half. I want to let you know that we will take you to this game live at halftime.
Creighton showing a little full court pressure there, not looking to steal it, but giving Maryland a different look, trying to slow them down a bit.
So we'll keep you updated on that game, but meanwhile, let's get you back to the McNichols Sports Arena in Denver, where Uconn and New Mexico continue to battle. Ian Eagle and Jim Spinarca.
Huskies in front 30-16, 2:18 to play in the first half. New Mexico able to get back into this game. They trailed by 14. They were down by as many as 18 and showing some signs of life here offensively.
And actually, if they can muster their way into a 10-point deficit within the next 2:18, they'll be in good shape.
Coming up, Pennzoil at the half. Greg and Clark will get you updated on all the tournament news, all the scores and highlights. Plus a live look in at that Maryland-Creighton matchup. It's all coming up. Pennzoil at the half.
A little extension again by New Mexico. A 1-2-1-1 look.
Uconn will hold on to it. Last touch, Robinson with 31 seconds on the timer. Uconn shooting, they came out hot, but since the first 4 minutes of action, only 6 of 20 from the field. Only 30 points in the first half for Uconn. That is quite a bit off their season average.
New Mexico can look with that pace. If you double that, you're in the 60s. That's where they want this, but they just get off to such a horrible start. It's a long climb back to get into this one.
Shot clock is down to 8. Elami. Jump shot, well short. Rebound taken by Moore. Pull-up jumper for Ricky Moore. That's a friendly rim.
It sure is. Difficult shot along the baseline from about 12 feet. Uconn goes to the man-to-man switch on the defensive side, extending a little bit.
32-18 Huskies. Robinson getting it inside. Walker on a turnaround. Got it.
He's given them a nice lift this afternoon. They really needed his lift also, especially with that huge deficit. Walker a little more aggressive with the basketball offensively.
His attitude has been questioned in the past, but right now Dave Bliss has to go with him. Walker is making something happen out there on the floor. 9 points.
Well, attitude becomes a secondary issue. You just go out and play the game.
Hamilton. He was in the lane. Davis thought he got it cleanly, and a foul call.
One of the things about New Mexico is Hamilton does put it on the floor quickly. Watch the hands reaching in. A lot of traffic. It does look like Davis is straight up with the right hand. We'll get another look. There's the reach in. Questionable. Could go either way, but the fact that he didn't bring that hand down generally gives you an advantage.
That's the first foul on the Arlington, Texas native. 8 Huskies have scored for Uconn. Richard Hamilton, as we mentioned earlier, moving into 3rd place on the Huskies all-time scoring list. 8 points here today. Saunders goes to the sidelines and replaced by Roshamel Jones.
Watch for a little extension now for the Huskies. If this shot goes in by Hamilton, they'll come up a little bit.
Under a minute left in the first half. 34-20 Uconn.
Here they come. They push it up a little bit. Last minute, teams try to settle in, try to get themselves to the half. The Huskies play it as if it's the last minute of a basketball game.
Henry, who just checked in for Hannah, able to trigger in. And Robinson will get it across.
A good possession to finish your half off. Wow, Elamine just came across Davis.
Robinson couldn't hit the three-pointer. High screen set by Davis. You're right, Elamine just crushed it.
And no call, and Davis really took one upper part of his body also.
About a 7.5-second difference shot clock to game clock. We are winding down here in the first half, which has been controlled by Uconn.
Jim Calhoun, I think, wants to talk things over for 20.
It will be a 20-second timeout, and Uconn will have it with 13 seconds left on the timer. Khalid Elamine trying to cut through a screen.
It's going to set him up right here. You see him over here, Elamine. He's going to come across and watch the shot. See, he leads. That's a foul. I mean, you have to call that one. Watch his right arm. He leads with the arm, and then he brings it to the chest and then to the chin. That whistle has to be blown. Once again, watch this right arm up, bang.
Right around the neck area, Davis taking that shot.
See, sometimes the little guys get away with doing things to the big guys. The big guys always get caught doing things like that to smaller players.
10 points, 4 rebounds for Khalid Elamine, coming off a 10-assist performance, a career high for him in the win over UTSA. Timer is down to 10. Jones makes his move on a kick out. Moore, wide open look. Ricky Moore drills it for 3. Final seconds. Robinson with 3, with 2. The floater goes down as time runs out here in the first half. The top-seeded Uconn Huskies with a 37-22 lead on number 9 New Mexico. Halftime here in Denver. Let's go over to Mike Mayock. Thank you. End of the first half here at McNichols Sports Arena. 37-22 Uconn. Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome, everyone. Pennzoil at the half. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg at halftime. Uconn is leading New Mexico by a score of 37-22. You get the feeling New Mexico hasn't gotten on track, especially if you look at Kenny Thomas with just 1 point.
Yeah, he's a big-time player inside, and they've not been able to get him the ball because of the pressure defense. And Uconn, despite leading by 15, probably feels as though they could be up more.
Meanwhile, earlier today in Orlando, the Indiana Hoosiers fell to St. John's. The Red Storm winning it 86-61. Boy, St. John's cheerleaders must have known what was in store because it was St. John's from the get-go. They were on the run.
Here is Bootsy Thornton making music with the nice dime to Tyrone Grant.
Watch Ron Artest in the paint as you look at Luke Carnesecca. Watch this nice pass to Thornton on the baseline. St. John's closed the first half on a 9-2 run. And in the second half, Thornton will get the feed inside, but flips it to Postel for the slam. St. John's a winner after the game. The last question Bob Knight fielded from reporters.
Are you give more thought to what your legacy that you're going to leave, or i.e. what history looks back and thinks of Bobby Knight and your regime?
The only thing I've ever really given a lot of thought to is where I'm going fishing next.
Thank you, Coach.
Someone should forewarn the salmon. Meanwhile, St. John's, you have to say it, Clark, from start to finish, they played the kind of basketball they're capable of.
I would add, too, that I've received that same response from a question that I've asked Coach Knight in the past. But St. John's their quickness was overwhelming. Their passing was marvelous. 21 assists on 31 made field goals, Greg. That says an awful lot.
All right, Clark, game 2 out in Orlando is underway. The Creighton Blue Jays and the Terps of Maryland. And right now, second seed Maryland has a 38-27 lead. About 3 minutes to play in the first half. Let's go there and join Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner.
2:57 to go, first half of play. Maryland with their largest lead of the game, up 38-27.
And Creighton goes back to the box-and-one defense. It was the defense that they used effectively early in the game. Maryland, however, recently has generated some turnovers and stretched out the lead.
There's Steve Francis. No call on the play. Picked up Miller on the baseline. No good.
And that's why you play the box-and-one. You get to throw the ball over the defender who's guarding Francis man-to-man, and you've got a 6'11" guy there to help.
Brandon Walker, he's got 12 points in the first half. Pulls up for 3. And into the hands of Francis. On the break, Dixon, jump stop for 3. Got it!
What a great job by Steve Francis to pitch that ball ahead. Lots of times you see kids take the ball to the middle and dribble it up the court, but you really put pressure on the defense when you get it to pitch it to the man ahead on the pass.
And the freshman Dixon out of Baltimore, Maryland. He has 7 points, played at Calvert Hall. And a bunch of talent from Baltimore in the tournament this year. Off the glass, Winston, no good. Stokes with the board. Lead pass, Dixon. He's got Francis with him. And it's broken up by Karlakonovas.
Nice job by Creighton to get back.
41-27. Blue Jays need a basket. That's their guy. And it's knocked out of bounds.
Maryland also playing the smaller lineup.
Maryland on a 12-0 run currently. Donnie Johnson back into the game. And the bracket here in the South region in Orlando, St. John's destroying Indiana today. And they are waiting for the winner of this game, Creighton and Maryland.
What a tremendous effort by St. John's today. Either one of these teams sitting there watching that game can't be confident about going up against St. John's. Not if they play like that.
Karlakonovas, 14 on the shot clock. Karlakonovas leans in and banks it home.
Karlakonovas has been a big offensive factor for Creighton. Buford is really struggling. Creighton now back into that box-and-one.
5 points for Karlakonovas. The Lithuanian-born player, Terrence Morris.
Maryland's had good success when they've penetrated the box-and-one with the dribble or the pass.
Backdoor Morris. Great look from Profit.
Francis over there got knocked down and actually set a screen while he was falling to the ground. Morris now with 16 points.
In the first half of play, Karlakonovas guarded by Profit.
Maryland's man-to-man has been pretty effective.
Walker around the screen, hesitation, trapped inside, taken away by Morris, and he fouls it. With 18 and 3/10 of a second to go. And the game summary, neither team shooting the ball very well, and both turning it over. But look at the fast break. Maryland with 16-4 advantage, and they're on a 14-2 run in the last 5 minutes.
And it's those turnovers that really keyed the 14-2 run. Maryland has been able to take the turnovers and produce points from the turnovers. Creighton has not been able to do the same thing. Maryland also doing an outstanding job on the defensive board, so the Terrapins out and running both off turnovers and off defensive rebounds.
So Morris, what an explosive first half he's had. Adds the second free throw, and Morris with 18 points in the first half of play. Exactly. 9 to shoot. Buford. Buford takes the shot and got it at the buzzer.
So Maryland's lead is now 46-29 at the break. And, you know, if you wanted to blueprint it for the Terps, you couldn't do it any better, especially the way Mr. Morris is playing, Clark.
Yeah, he's been solid all season long. We've talked about that. But they're strongest and at their best when they're in transition. They turn you over, they defensive board, and then they're off to the races.
Okay, we want to tell you what's coming up next here on CBS. Our next set of games, Gonzaga and Stanford out west. We'll tip at about 4:30 Eastern time. In the south, Oklahoma State and top seed Auburn at around 4:38. And then at about 4:46 back in the west, it'll be Iowa and 4th seed Arkansas. We'll take a timeout and continue along the road to the Final Four as you look at Uconn's Kevin Freeman helping jam the Huskies to a 15-point lead at halftime.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. Sports present.